Ba-da-ba-ba.
9, 8,
Ba-da-ba-ba.
7, 6, 5,
Do-do-do-do-do.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, finally, today's the day. I brought the parrots over to their new enclosure, even though it's not completely done. I haven't been able to mesh any of this in or the back part in, but it had to get done. They're causing too much noise at the house. I need to start preparing that bird room for the finch breeding season, which is right around the corner. I'm so late for all of those things, and I just needed to get them out here. So as you can see, I have them lined up across down here. These are the cages that they're gonna go into. Now, unfortunately, I don't have dividers. I thought about for a while placing some sort of divider so that the pair on this side can't see the pair on this side and so on. But since I didn't have time to do that, I plan on eventually doing it in the future. But for the time being, what I'm doing is, for example, I'll put a pair of plumheads, then I'll put a pair of rosellas, then plumheads again, then the black-headed whatever those things are called. I'm blanking out. And then like that. So it's not the same species one next to another, and they don't feel like they have to compete with the next door neighbor being the same species. So there's a big space in between one and the other. I don't know if I'm making myself clear the way that I'm explaining it, but it's been a long day. I'm having a lot of brain farts. I can't think properly. Late in the day though, so let me start getting these guys in here, and let's start. I have to be extremely careful because, as you can see, this thing is not enclosed. So if I make one mistake and one of these birds escapes, I am gonna be so mad. So I have to be very careful while doing this. So let's get this done. The back cage, or the back portion, is shut. Let's start with the first cage. Now, one of the things that I like to do when I go to put the birds inside of the new cage, because I don't wanna have to touch them again, is inspect them. Look at the nails, make sure that you don't need to trim nails. That way you just do it now, and then once you throw them in there, you'll leave them alone. So both of these guys, I've already checked them. Their nails look great. They don't need to be trimmed. I'm gonna go ahead and release the first pair. Now, some of these guys are smarter than others. They'll go out very quickly. Then sometimes you have some like this that are afraid to go into the new enclosure because they don't know what to expect. There we go, she's in. One down, only a couple more to go. These guys are one of my favorite pairs. I'm so excited with these guys. Hopefully, I have another pair of plumheads there that is split Lutino male. So he gave the previous owner some Lutino chicks, but this one in specific, the male is split Lutino, and then the female is full Lutino. So I have very high hopes for this pair. I don't know if they'll do anything this year because the female is still a bit young. She is about to be a year and a half, almost 2. I think by the time that the breeding season comes around, she'll be 2 and she might do something. Plumheads are a little bit tricky from what I've heard. Sometimes at 2, they'll do something. Sometimes it takes them a little bit more than that, but we'll see what happens with these guys. Now, since she is a Lutino, her eyesight is not the best, so she struggles to see. And that's one of the reasons sometimes why you have a hard time getting some of these Lutinos out of your cages. Oh my. All right, so I might have to grab her with the net, which I didn't want to have to do, but it needs to get done. There. Now let me answer a question. I actually had someone the other day ask me a question on the on one of my YouTube videos about the new parrots that I got, and the question was, did I buy them in pairs already? As in, this was already a pair made by the previous breeder, or did I buy them individually and make my own pairs? That is a very good question, and a lot of people have a hard time deciding which way to go when they want to get their first birds. To be honest with you, personally, I don't like to buy pairs that are already made by the breeder, and I'll tell you why. I've been in this bird game for a very long time, and over the years, I've come to realize one thing, and it is that sometimes you can't trust most of these breeders because they're not quite honest with you. To be honest with you, see, you can't even trust me. No, I'm joking. To be honest with you, who I mean, think about it real quick. Who sells a pair of birds that is actually breeding for them? So if somebody has a proven pair and they list a proven pair for sale, why would you sell a proven pair that is breeding and producing chicks for you, especially in parrots, where you have to wait such a long time for these birds to mature sexually and actually start giving you chicks? So when somebody says they have, and it's not all the time, obviously there are people that don't do this, but normally when someone says, hey, I have a proven pair available, I'm very skeptical, because that pair is either breaking the eggs, killing the chicks, not laying a full clutch, something's going on. So it's something where, I don't know, I don't trust it. But most of these pairs, the black hoodeds, what I ended up doing was I bought from a breeder that came very highly recommended, and I made my own pairs. These are young birds that haven't even colored up yet. I got a male from one bloodline, a female from another bloodline, and I was able to get 3 pairs that are completely unrelated to each other. The Rosellas, I did the same thing. I bought a male over here, a female somewhere else, made my own pair. And then the Plumheads are the only ones, 2 of the pairs that I bought as actual true breeding pairs, because the breeder that I got them from is someone who is extremely trustworthy. I know this person, I've met them in the past, and the only reason why they sold them was because they were downsizing with their bird stock. That is the only reason why I bought those birds as actual proven breeding pairs. But otherwise, I would never do that. I prefer to make my own pairs. All right, so right now it's kind of late in the day. It's around 6 o'clock here, so we're about to hit nightfall in about 2 hours. This is not the ideal time for me to be releasing these birds in here. Ideally, I would like to do this early morning so that they have some time to get used to their new environment before, you know, nighttime. But I'm pressed up against time, guys. It's crazy how fast the days are going by. I've been so busy with work and so many other things that I just haven't had a chance. So it's one of those things where if I don't do it today, I don't know when it's gonna be my next day available to be able to do something like this. So I'll just make it happen. Hopefully these guys don't stress out. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna stress out. These cages are way bigger than how I had them at the house. So if anything, they should be happier here. But anything can happen. My biggest concern at this point is just the woods back there. Hopefully nothing happens. I've had the Quaker chicks here for about, I want to say about a week already, and I haven't had any issues. They've been doing great. These cages are very good because the wire mesh is very small. It's only 1/2 inch, so it's hard for predators to do anything and grab these birds. And since the cages are so big, if the predator's on that side, the bird can fly to this side and kind of get away from them. But you know how things go. These birds are kind of dumb sometimes, and they'll go right into the claws or the feet or the hands of those predators and get eaten. So hopefully there are no issues with these birds, but I do plan on kind of finishing everything up within the next month or so here. All right, 2 more pairs to go. We are almost done. Man, I'm excited. Got this pair in here. Come on, guys. It's our new home. You're gonna love it. It's so much bigger. And then the last pair, I know for sure these guys, I have to trim the nails on the male. I saw that when I was transporting him over here. His nails look horrible. All right, let me show you. You guys can see the nails. He desperately needs a trimming. So, boom. All right, we got one. Let's grab the female. Female and we're done. No, she's stuck. and they're all in. I can't believe it. Finally, after months. I don't know when my parrot journey started. I think it's probably been almost a year already, or it's been a year since I started buying. And to have this vision of creating this and trying to finish it, besides every other thing that I have to do in life, you know, work, the family, all the other farm animals, it takes time, guys. It takes time, but it goes to show you, if you put a plan in action, if you put your head towards it and you go in the right direction, you can definitely achieve anything. So this is something that I'm very proud of and very happy to be able to finally get all of these birds out here, because I had the wrong misconception when I got these birds. I was thinking small, I was thinking finches. And finches, you can keep them in small cages, they thrive, they do very well, but these birds, they need big cages. So I'm very happy to be able to give them something this big, where it's 6 feet long, 2 feet wide, 6 feet long, 3 feet wide, 3 feet tall. You know, these are big cages for them. They're gonna love it here. They're gonna have a great time. And they're gonna get full sun during one part of the day and then shade during the other, because the way that this was built, in the mornings, this side right here gets full sun. And that's one of the reasons why I put the smaller species on this side, because when wintertime comes, even though we're in Florida and it doesn't get cold here, I want to be able to have the smaller species warm up quicker in the morning. Those are the ones that are gonna need it. And then this side gets sun past 2 o'clock is when the sun starts to hit this side. And this side's gonna have the hardier, bigger species that don't require that warmth in the morning, because they do better. So this side over here is already full. I just have to enclose it on the back side. So now what I have to start doing is, let me feed everybody. And then I just realized that this cage doesn't have a perch all the way in the back. So I'm gonna have to make one very quickly and put it in here before the end of the day. But first, let me give everybody food and water. All right, so everyone's in their cage. I'm gonna go ahead and end this for today, and I'll be back tomorrow to check up on everybody. As you can see, they're already finding their food and water. But I'm heading out. It's kind of late, and I want these guys to settle down. It's almost 7 o'clock, so they have probably about an hour left of sunlight, and I don't want them to go to sleep without drinking or eating a little bit. So I'm gonna head out of here, let them rest, and we'll be back tomorrow. They're like little guard dogs. They're getting so aggressive. It's crazy how aggressive these guys have been getting lately. All right, so we're back at the farm. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm nervous. I'm nervous to check these guys out. Hopefully everybody had a good night and they didn't get attacked by anything. So let's see what we see in here. The Quakers seem all fine. These guys have been here for a while, like I mentioned, and they've always been fine. No issue. Oh, that scared me. This thing's open. We have the first pair. They seem to be doing good. The Rosellas. These guys look like they're good also. The Plumheads. Look good. This little female or male on the right, you can see how she's a little bit hunched. I don't like to see that, but what can we do? Another pair of plums, they're doing good. These guys seem to be good too. Can't complain. Everybody seems to have done good overnight. They got food, they got water, they got everything they need. They spent the first night good, so can't ask for anything better than that. Hopefully nothing's coming in to scare them. There's only just one here that I don't like how it looks. That hooded female right there, seems to be a little bit puffed up. I don't know if that's because it's stress from the change or what. I'm gonna take a closer look at it to make sure that nothing grabbed it by the feet or anything like that, but it could just be, I don't know, she flew up fine. It's just probably the change. You know, birds, they get kind of stressed out. They flew up here this way. They get kind of stressed out when you make any sort of movement. This is exactly why I wanted to do this early before the breeding season started, which actually, to be honest with you, from what I've heard, the hooded parrots were in their breeding season already. So this is the time of the year when they start to breed. And one of the things that I brought with me today are the nest boxes. Now these guys are roughly about a year and a half. I've heard that they start breeding when they're 22 months old. So they still haven't quite made it to that breeding age. And that's usually when they color up as well. The males start acting a little bit different. These guys, the males haven't colored up, but I have been told, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I have been told that males and females will breed under 2 years of age, even when they don't have colors. It all depends on the pairs. So why not, you know, let a season go to waste? I'm gonna go ahead and put the nest up now, and hopefully these guys will do something. Who knows? And just like that, guys, we have come to the end of yet another video. Like always, I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. If you have, remember to hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel and haven't done so already. And I guess we'll see each other in the next one. Bye.